Back in 1976, Barry Jenkin moved from radio to Radio with Pictures. They gave him a new name too, Dr. Rock.
Good evening, citizens. The major feature of Radio with Pictures tonight is some Class A rock and roll.
Boots O'Brien, who was running TVNZ at the time, Light Ent, when I did the picture show, said, well, what are we going to call you? And I said, well, what's wrong with my name, you know? He said, well, it doesn't have enough pizzazz. And, well, I suppose he's right, really. But I was a bit against this Dr. Rock thing, to be honest, but there, when the first show, it came across the screen, so what could you do?
And there's 20 more minutes where that came from, just a fast view of him there. So stay with us for the material later on.
I remember every now and again somebody, a 9-foot-tall Hells Angel, would come up to you on the street and say, I hate you. But I watch you every week.
Dr. Rock was a Hauraki DJ, and he's back there now after a long time in Australia, playing the music he thinks is the real rock and roll. He's building a helicopter in his garage, and he's happy.
I'm having a very good time, actually. That's the Hauraki thing, which I'm enjoying even more than I expected to. I'm working on my project, and I get a bit of work here and there for voice work. It's no scorching career, but it's very acceptable as far as I'm concerned.
Barry left, Punk arrived, and so did Phil O'Brien.
We've had quite a few requests here lately to show tracks from a few years back, particularly with the upsurge in heavy metal.
Radio with Pictures played music from the rock mainstream. Punks hated that and made life hard for Phil. He moved on and is now back in radio, setting up his own station just north of Wellington. And then there was Karyn.
Good evening. We open the show tonight with 2 tracks from the Romantics, the band that came out of Detroit in '77.
Karyn Hay hosted Radio with Pics for 5 years. Her chilled-out, drawling presentation became an institution. Karyn Hay lives in London with her partner, musician Andrew Fagan. They have 2 sons, and her first book's recently been published.
Well, after the success of
ex-pop mechanic singer Richard Driver was driving a taxi when Karyn Hay left the show in the mid-80s. Soon the job was his.
Now let's run the old Union Jack up the flagpole and see who salutes.
Like some of the best things in life, I just kind of stumbled into it. Was happy doing the job for 3 years because it paid quite well. And I built up quite a large CD collection, or album collection in those days, but don't miss it at all.
The axing of Radio with Pictures in 1988 sent Richard behind the scenes into TV production.
I've been fortunate enough to get funding to produce New Zealand pop music history, 6 1 hours.
And you won't be fronting that one?
No.